I'm Megan Mitchell. This is my co-host, John Morrison, and you are listening to the True North Racing Podcast.
Time to strap in, pull those belts, and get ready for an action-packed episode of the True North Racing Podcast. Are you ready to unhelmet your favorite racers? Get ready for the most fun you'll have outside the racetrack to get you ready for the next race. You're listening to John Morrison and Megan Mitchell, and this is the True North Racing Podcast.
Welcome back to a new episode of the True North Racing Podcast, presented by Driving With Hailey. Ooh, I hit something there. Joining us, as always, is our amazing co-host, Megan Mitchell. Megan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. You missed last week's episode, unfortunately, because of scheduling conflicts. You want to know something, though?
What's that?
We also had a scheduling conflict last Sunday.
Really?
Yes. So when we were about to record on Sunday with
Will Marsh?
With Will, I forgot to add in my calendar that we were going to be having Mark Allen join us as well.
I did see a message from him go through, but I don't open those. So. I don't know what it was about.
So I apologize to Mark once again. We're gonna have him on in a couple weeks. This time he is in my calendar though, so we are good to go. That is not here or there. But Megan, when we're recording this, because I will be at a Luke Combs concert the weekend when typically we're recording. Since you weren't on for last week's episode, we didn't get a chance to talk about it. You were a part of Jacqueline and I's wedding.
Yeah.
You were a bridesmaid. How did that day go for you?
It was fun. I've never been like a part of a wedding party before, so I didn't know what to expect. It was really fun. Like, it was really busy. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm not to having hair and makeup done, so to have it done and not be able to mess it up was like stressful for me, but
yeah,
it was really cool. Like, I'm so glad I got to be a part of that with you guys. That was really special to me. I loved it.
And of course it was a damn near perfect day.
Yeah.
We wanted the sun, we got the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And even with my friend Jamie recording a video for us, when Jacqueline walked down the aisle, all you see is the sun blaring, like just all you see is the sun coming out from behind my head.
That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was such a great time. We we can't thank again all our friends and family who were there in attendance to celebrate with us. Last week, you and I and our significant others, yours, Garrison for you, Jacqueline for myself, we went down to Niagara Falls and we went to do the power station.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. That was a lot of fun.
That was really cool.
It was so cool. And then getting to go into that tunnel where 20 years ago, less than 18 years ago this year, water was rushing through there.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap. I didn't know that was even operational. Growing up. And to find out that like was still operational up until 2006, incredible. The fact that it was ran by just two people.
Yeah.
Even blows my mind. And then the four of us, we headed up to Merrittville, grabbed some pizza and some smoked meats. Was that your first time at Merrittville for their food?
I've got pizza. We went a couple years ago to watch the races, and I got pizza, but their smokehouse wasn't open. So that was the first time I tried that.
Now, what did you get?
Really good. I had a pulled pork poutine.
You guys know I had the brisket on a sandwich. It's always fun because when Jacqueline and I go, we get a pizza and something off the smokehouse menu, and then we just split.
Yeah.
Because then you get the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
You're always going to be happy.
Garrison wished we did that. I'm like, well, I told you we could have. We
could have.
Like,
no one decided. And I offered him my pizza, and I don't share my pizza often. Anyone who knows me knows I don't share pizza very well. But one of the cool things we do have coming up here on the show, we are gonna have in just a few weeks, we're gonna have Jonathan Peters join us from Laird Speedway. He races up there. Now, if you don't know, I really hope I'm saying this correctly because Feeney and I started having this conversation last night. Whether it's Laird or Lard.
I would think Laird.
I would think so too. So we're gonna put that debate to rest. As you guys can see, I'm so excited for this. As you guys can see, I am rocking a Laird Speedway 25th anniversary t-shirt. I have to thank Rita, who is the general manager there, for sending me the shirts, because I was expecting one shirt, and I have to thank Rita and Varco. She is the general manager up there at Laird Speedway. They sent 3 shirts for us, and I'm rocking one right now, and I'm gonna show you guys this because this is the one I wanted to buy these because first of all, there's 2 things I love right now. One is we were able to reach out to a couple people thanks to Axel Burnmeister, as he was the one who helped us set up this where these conversations we're going to have in the coming weeks with drivers from Laird Speedway. He was able to help me get in touch with some of them, and these people are the champions of the track as well. Right. One of the cool things about this place is it's up by Sault Ste. Marie. So I looked it up. It's 6.5 hours away.
Yeah.
They race on Thursday nights. And they have, at the season end, a $10,000 to win super late model race. And I know I've said it on here before, and it just blows my mind that, now that we're able to really, we're going to be able to have these conversations about the Speedway, because we always talk about Flamborough, Delaware, Peterborough, Sunset, Sauble, Oswego, Merrittville, Humberstone, Southern Ontario Motor Speedway, Brockville, Brighton, all these tracks in Southern Ontario, but we don't get to talk to people who race north.
No.
And we're gonna have we have already lined up Jonathan Peters, better known as JP. He is going to be coming on the show in a couple weeks on May 12th to record. So that'll be May 14th. We're gonna talk all things Laird Speedway. We're gonna talk what is so special about that track, because one, it's also on their fairgrounds. So I'm excited to have these conversations. I'm excited to promote Laird Speedway. I know Rita Ann is also trying to get me to come up. So we'll see if that happens, because that is a doozy of a trip for us.
Yeah.
6.5 hours. It's the weekend before Labor Day.
Yeah.
Actually, I really hope it's the weekend before Labor Day. Let's see here. Yes, it is the weekend before Labor Day. I would love to get to the track. It looks like a tight bull ring. I've watched some videos. I would love to go up there, be able to talk to some of the racers. Who knows? Maybe that might be a 2025 plan. If we can start the conversations now, maybe we can get something. But I want to show. I'm wearing, like I said, I'm rocking mine right now. But I want to show you guys the back of these t-shirts, because the back of the t-shirt is the reason why I wanted to buy these. Okay, because you go to some of these other tracks, they just have the logo, nothing really very generic. I'm not picking on Flamber, but they have a very generic t-shirt design. To me, this screams. And of course, you got the TNT, you got the checkered flag, 25th anniversary, Laird Raceway. Of course, you got the maple leaf there. But like I said, this is the reason. This is right here was the reason why I wanted to buy this. Like, look at
That's cool.
I need to back this up a little bit more. I didn't realize how close it was. Thursday Night Thunder. Like, look, 25th right on the side of the car. Like, on the hood of the car, sorry. And then 24 down the side for the year. And of course, it's a super late model, which makes it even better because that is one of their premier divisions at the track. I want to get to the Speedway so bad. Race season is just around the corner, and I am way too excited for this. Megan, is there anything you would like to add before we get into our this week's Driving with Hailey vehicle spotlight?
I don't think so.
Okay. So this week on the Driving with Hailey vehicle spotlight, wow. Let's try this again. On this week's edition of Driving with Hailey's vehicle spotlight, it is a 2023 Chevrolet Traverse for $48,995 with only 22,000 kilometers on it. That's pretty good. It's accident free. It has a tow hitch, third row seating, park assist, blind spot sensors, power driver seats, keyless ignition, lane departure warning, and of course the ever popular Apple and Android CarPlay. Much needed nowadays. It is an automatic. It gets 9.6 liters for highway, 13.6 in the city. It's all-wheel drive. It's a 3.6 liter V6. It's white, seat 7, 4 doors. I'm looking at the pictures right now. It is if I needed an SUV, this is something I'd be going after. Like it's pretty clean. So, if you guys are looking to get into a new ride, call up Hailey Hill at Right Ride, or find her on Facebook at Driving with Hailey. And she helped me get me my van. And the van is doing exactly what it needs to do. And I can't thank her enough for helping me get into this thing. And of course, if you got bad credit, whatever, she will help you get into the ride of your dreams or what you need at the time to better yourself as well. She helped me. She's going to be able to help you as well. So find her today on Facebook at Driving with Hailey, as well as Hill at rightride.ca. That's her email. And then, oh no, I got so good. I got so cocky with this. And then I just realized. And then you guys can also give her a shout at 289-808-2828. Of course, we got to thank Driving with Hailey for being the presenting sponsor of the True North Racing Podcast, because without her, well, I mean, we'd still be doing the show, but just we're not able to promote other people as well. So thank you, Hailey, for jumping on board with us for the years, being the presenting sponsor. And of course, like I said, that car looks absolutely beautiful. It is like I said, if you're looking for an SUV for the family to get hockey equipment and soccer, baseball, that's a vehicle for you. So like I said, call up Hailey Hill and get yourself into that Traverse. Yeah. With that being said, I think it's time to bring in this week's guest on the True North Racing Podcast. We got Mason Collver joining us. We're going to talk all things mini truck racing up there at Grand Bend Speedway. And of course, it's going to be in our GraphInk Design Studio Guest segment of the week. So let's bring Mason in here. Joining us in our GraphInk Design Studio Guest segment of the week, we got Mason Collver joining us. Mason, how's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Welcome to the show, man. I know I've met you on a couple occasions, and it's been great. And I think I think the first time I met you was actually at Sawwell Speedway a couple years ago. There, I think I
Yeah.
ran into you.
Yeah.
You race in the mini truck division over at Grand Bend Speedway. Well, like I said, welcome to the show, man. It's we're excited to have you and learn more about you.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk some racing and hang out with you guys tonight.
So let's start off here and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in racing.
All right, I'm 20 years old. I live in Strathroy, so about 15 minutes away from Delaware Speedway. So I grew up, my dad has 6 brothers, and all of them pretty much are mechanics and have their own shops. So I grew up around cars and driving and riding anything I could growing up. But I didn't really get into racing till about 2 or 3 years ago. So the last season was my second full year racing,
Oh, wow.
and I started out in the mini trucks. And now we're done with those. But my cousin is Trevor Collver. He races in the super stocks at Delaware. I pit crew for him. He's my mentor and biggest help I got. Also, my cousin Justin Culver, Trevor's brother, also races at Delaware in the bone stock class, and I just love hanging out with those two and cheering them on.
That's awesome, man.
Mhm.
So you just said it. You're done with mini trucks.
Yep.
So where are you moving to then?
So in the mini trucks, we won the championship at Full Throttle last year, and we won the championship at Grand Bend. So we met our goals, and now we're moving to the Thunder Truck class at Full Throttle.
Nice.
So the truck grew a little bit over the winter.
Just a wee bit. You said you and I were talking the other day that you ended up going out and picking it up from the paint booth, right?
So I was supposed to do that today, but he
Oh,
wanted to put another coat on, so I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow, of course.
can you
I'm
send me a
missing it. I
picture
need
when
it
it's
home
done?
because we still have a lot of work to do. So I want it home, but it's all right.
So you're moving up wow. You're moving up yeah, dude, I've already been tongue tying myself in that before we even got you on here tonight. So you're already moving up a division, which is awesome to hear and awesome to see. The Thunder trucks, is that kind of like that's the V8 trucks that used to kind of run it down there, Delaware?
Yep. So a lot of these trucks are the old Delaware trucks, and they're getting a second life, I guess, up at Full Throttle. It's a sweet class up there. It's a cool track for them. I'm really excited for this experience.
Awesome, man.
Mhm.
Megan, I don't know if you ever seen the truck races that went on down in Delaware?
No, I wasn't really around Delaware very much at all.
So when I used to go down there, that was one of my favorite divisions because some of the trucks looked like they were just pulled off the road, and some of them looked like they had been like from the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Hmm.
So like the
That'd be
uniqueness
cool.
of it was amazing. It was one of my favorite divisions because one, I love truck racing.
Mhm.
I 100% approve of truck racing. It is one of my favorite divisions to watch, and I'm glad to hear that they have a second life, and a lot of those trucks, like you said, are actually racing at Full Throttle, which makes me happier that there's not as many vehicles sitting in a barn and that they're on track. So,
Mhm.
where did you get the truck from?
So I got the truck actually. So it was Lonnie Thompson's truck. Back, I believe they built it, and he raced it at Delaware for a couple years. And then when I'm not too sure when they sold it, but Mark Dixon had it up at Full Throttle for a few years, won a couple championships, I think, and then it didn't really get raced last year. Someone ended up buying it and taking it out the last night of the year, and then they sold it to the track owner, Paul Trepanier. And Paul's a great guy, awesome friend, and we worked out a deal and we got the truck off him.
That's a pretty good
Nice.
deal there.
Yeah.
So, you haven't been racing for all that long. You already got a couple championships under your belt, and especially in your second season, that's really impressive. But in that rookie season, when you started getting into those mini trucks, what was that feeling like for you?
It was a learning curve at first, you know. So actually, like the year before we pulled the truck out, we've had this truck for probably like 6 years sitting in one of our shops, and we pulled it out the year 2021, I believe. So I did, I think, 2 races at the end of the year there. So those were a nice learning step. And then 2022, we went full time. And that rookie year, it was a blast. It was a challenge to figure out, you know, kind of the setup stuff. But thankfully for Trevor and helping him out, he's a great teacher, and he's taught me to work hard too. The work ethic he's instilled helps a lot as well. But my rookie year was pretty successful. We finished runner up at both tracks and had multiple feature wins. So went as good as I could have hoped for.
That's for sure. So for anyone that doesn't know, can you kind of like give a rundown of what exactly the mini trucks are?
Yeah. So the mini trucks, they're similar to the J cars, and they're just a scaled down version of a full size car, but they do have coilover suspension and shocks. It has a bit bigger motor. It's a 13 horse Honda, which is like 20 horse when it's a race motor. It weighs about 850 pounds. Too sure what else information I give, but when we go around the track, we're foot to the floor, and you're not supposed to lift unless you're doing something wrong.
It's pretty cool. So back to like your rookie year, you said you had multiple feature wins that year.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about like your first feature win and what that meant for you, how that felt?
Yeah. So my first feature win, so actually it was about July, I think, my rookie year. It would, yeah, it would have been
That's a good one.
Canada's Day weekend, or the civic holiday, maybe August. It was a long weekend. I remember that because the Saturday night we had the Brad Clark Memorial at Full Throttle. So we ended up doing 3 features that night, because normally at both tracks we run double features, but for the memorial we ran a third race. And that third race, the night before, I think I came through the field. I got the lead with a couple to go, and then there was a caution, I believe, and then I ended up finishing third or second. So that was a big letdown, so close. But luckily, the next day everyone packed up because a lot of guys race both tracks, and we went to Grand Bend Speedway on the Sunday, and the race just worked out good for us. We were the fastest truck there, and we won. So it's nice to see all the work pay off and be able to celebrate with my family and get that monkey off the back.
Absolutely.
So one thing I wanted to touch on here is you're racing at Full Throttle Motor Speedway up there in just outside of Arnie there, and you're also running Grand Bend Speedway. With those tracks being almost polar opposites of each other in how they drive and how you have to manage a car, what were some of the things you had to do to get the car ready or the truck ready for you at each track?
So actually, setup wise, they're very similar. Like my first year, I was changing my ride heights in between the 2 tracks, but like stagger, my cross, some of my stuff like that all stayed the same. So I was changing that between tracks, but then just this past year, I found a nice spot for ride height and just left it alone. And there was one point in the year where I barely had to change anything on the truck and won like 10 or 12 features in a row. And then of course the dreaded crash comes, and then it kind of resets you, and then it was trying to get the truck back and stuff like that. So
I love I don't love when wrecks happen, but I know as soon as I started speaking, I'm like, that's gonna sound bad. But what else do you guys expect from me? Anyways, winning 10 to 12 races in a row, obviously it's so hard to do. But here's the thing is I feel like I almost want to say, was there ever a bounty on you to see who could actually beat you?
Not that I know about, at least. Not that I know
We need to
about,
start bringing that back. I'm sorry.
but
Come on. Promoters, get off your pocketbooks and let's throw out a bounty. Whoever can beat a good driver, like me, like I'm sorry, but if you go out there and win 10 to 12 races,
I,
there
I
needs to
think
be
it
a
was
bounty.
I think it was 10. I don't want to say too much, but I couldn't remember off the top of my head. I think it was 10, but well, something like that. I know it was a good amount. It was a really fun part. It wasn't just maintenance stuff because everyone kind of makes fun of me for practicing more than everyone and always changing stuff and working on the truck a little too much. But that's kind of the way Trevor does it and the way he's taught me, and it's what works. So I rather go out there and lose because I tried something than go out there and lose thinking I could have done more.
Exactly. It's obviously paid off, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't make fun of it.
The
Oh,
one
yeah,
thing
they're
we
calling me the practice king there for a while, but
But here's the thing though, there's nothing wrong with it.
Mm-mm.
If
no.
you go look at any of the top guys in any divisions, they could have gone. I've seen guys such like Will Gibbons or who else? Kevin Bridge. Who else have I seen? JR Fitzpatrick. They go out there and set quick time. And if it's not a impound race, that car is back in up on jack stands and they're changing springs or adding rubber or like spring rubbers in. They're trying something you just whooped the field by 3/10. Like just be consistent at that point. But and I'm not knocking them because if you want to be the best, you have to continue. You can't be complacent when you're at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You can always be faster, and that's exactly the way you got to think about it. Plus, with a lot of the people I'm racing against, like have a lot more experience, a lot more laps, been doing it a lot longer. So my thought process when I kind of went into it full time was I'm just gonna have to work a little harder, study a little more, and be a little smarter.
Absolutely. With moving up to the Thunder trucks, obviously there's going to be a big adjustment for you. Bigger motor, bigger tires. What are you most looking forward to this year moving from a mini truck to up to the Thunder trucks?
Really, I'm just looking forward to a new learning experience. Like I said, I really enjoy the learning part of it, and I really enjoy working on the cars and the setup stuff and trying to get as smart as I can with it. So I'm really looking forward to that, and it's going to be a lot more fun to drive. The mini trucks are a blast, but I'm looking forward to a new field of competition. And shout out to the Vales. Jason Vale actually went undefeated last year, so I'm excited to challenge him and race with him, and going to change that this year is the plan.
That's awesome.
Confident, I love it.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Yeah.
So, looking forward into 2024, what does your schedule look like for you?
So yeah, like I said, just full time at Varney, which is about every other weekend starting May 4th is our first race. And then a couple of the long weekends like May 2, 4 and Canada Day, we would do a double header race the Saturday and the Sunday. But that I think there's about 13 days and double features, so about 26 features this year. Then of course, I'm also busy with Trevor on his crew Friday nights at Delaware, and he likes working hard too. So we're normally out for practice Monday night as well.
See, practice,
Yeah.
and that sometimes we say there's too much practice. In my opinion, there's never too much practice if you're trying to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And the fact that you got Trevor to look up to and Justin as well to really help you along and learn from, like I know those guys are a couple of good guys who are learning, especially Justin, but Trevor even, it's great to see. Because if, in my opinion, like you need to have people in your corner who are willing to help you out as well as
Mm-hmm.
you guys can learn. Because then I can't remember, and I feel so stupid for asking. Did Trevor ever run a truck as well?
Yep. So Trevor and Justin ran the mini trucks together.
Yeah.
And then Trevor went from the mini truck to the full size truck. And then
Yep.
I think Justin did one more year mini truck at that same time. Then he kind of took a step back. And he started racing again last year in the bone stocks. Won some heats. Won the B main. Is the B main bandit we call him. But yeah, Trevor went from the mini truck to the full size truck, and then to super stock. So kind of following his path.
I remember when we had Trevor on. That's what it made me think. I'm like, I couldn't 100%. I didn't want to be so confident and say that. And like, yeah, he ran a truck too. And you're like, no, he didn't. I didn't want to be that person. Sorry. Anyways, Megan, you got something for him?
No, I was good. I think.
I've made a note for you. Or did we already go over that? Maybe we did.
Yeah.
Sorry. We passed notes secretly back here on our side of the screen. As we head into this year, you know, one of the things, you're young, you have a good head on your shoulder. You want to move forward. Where can we see a Mason Collver end up? Where do we want to see Mason Collver end up? That's the better question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll see what opportunities arise and what comes up. But ultimately, my goal, like I look up to Trevor so much. So, and being 15 minutes away from Delaware, this is a nice step towards. I'd like to run the super stocks and, you know, hopefully do the quick series and traveling stuff like that. I really enjoy the super stocks. It'd be a dream to race with Trevor. And but of course, you know, there's late models and stuff like that up the road too. Those things would be awesome. But right now, my goal is I want to do super stocks.
That's a great. You know what?
Yeah.
Super stocks are some of the best racing in the province.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good late model race, but once they get kind of strung out, it's super stocks. There's battles everywhere. The ride heights, the tires lose grip. You know that you have to manage your tires, especially in a 50-lap race. It's great. But we're gonna jump into our tailor to you media and design fan question period. As you saw earlier today, we announced that you were coming on the show, and of course, we got a few fan questions for you. You ready to answer them?
Sure, give it
All
a
right.
shot.
All right, Megan, take it away.
Okay. William_Trillium said, "Who is your favorite person to race against?"
No, that's a tough one there. There's a lot of fun people in the mini truck division. Like they all race you clean pretty much. There's a good amount of competitive trucks, but my favorite person to race against would probably have to be my good buddy Hayden Sim.
Nice. And he also asked, "What division would you like to run if you got the chance?"
That's kind of similar to the last question there, but I'll try to think of something different. I really like the Oscar Hot Rods and the Ontario Sportsman Series as well. But ultimately, yeah, super stocks. Growing up watching Trevor race those things, that's my big goal. That's the thing that really excites me. Oh, I do like the Can-Am midgets too. I think those things are really
They're
sweet.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Their flag man who's turned racer was pretty good too, if I recall. little fun with Cam Thompson there. Honestly, man, you're absolutely correct. The hot rods, they'd be a fun division. They'd be a lot like super stocks, which is good, but with obviously a nice looking older body on them. The Ontario Sportsman Series, closest thing a lot of us could even get a chance to run a Pinty's race. So I mean, like that would be pretty cool. And they run 100-lap features, which is, you know, no different than an APC late model series race. Can-Am midgets, who doesn't love going fast and turn left? And the closing rate on those things is unreal, especially in the middle of the corner. Like they drop back 3 car lengths and they catch it before they exit the corner. It's like You just stopped in the middle of the corner and you caught him on exit. Like, how does that work? It just
Those things are crazy.
absolutely no. Those are some really good divisions to even want a chance to get into. But that is our tailored to you media design fan question period. Of course, every week we have a new guest. We announce our inbox is open, so you guys can drop us a message or a comment on our post, and for that guest that week. And of course, we got to thank Tailored to You Media Design for being the presenting sponsor of our fan question period each week. She has been a big supporter of Joe Media from the literally from the beginning, because she's the one who created our original logo. So that original logo that we have, well, even this one too, that was all her. So if you guys are looking for tumblers or anything like that, hit her up. She's on Facebook and Instagram at Taylor to You. Getting back into our conversation with Mason now, it's always great to talk to even younger racers, because I'm 31 myself. I'm not young, nor am I a racer. Could you have scoffed any louder, Megan? Thank you for that one.
Not, I'm not young.
No.
I'm 31.
I'm no spring chicken anymore, okay? And then we got yourself, who's 26, 27 this year.
27 this year, yeah.
Yeah, 27 this year, running pure stocks. You guys have pretty much almost had the same years underneath your belts, really.
I was thinking that, yeah.
When you think about it. So, is there any advice you guys can give each other? Oh, as being younger
Come
people.
on, Megan.
Boy,
I need some
let's see this.
Flambro advice, bone stock advice.
I gotta see how this
Oh,
works
God.
here.
Those things are sweet. They look like a lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't know what advice I'd give anybody, honestly. Like, I'm still figuring it out.
Mason, you got anything?
Not really. Just the stuff I heard from Trevor. Just the same stuff about. Well, I guess you got to go fast and turn left. Those are important things. Keep the rubber side down, and just work hard and try your best.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Meg, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, no, that's good.
But
I don't even remember what I was going to say.
do you ever race your bone stock anywhere else, Megan, or only Flambro?
I've only ever done Flambro. Like, in all honesty, I probably have a half season in total since 2021 under my belt. So I've only ever done Flambro, but maybe Stobble one day.
Yeah, you should come out to Full Throttle.
That'd be
a fun place.
That'd be
Delaware
fun.
too.
Get out there for practice first, though, please.
Yeah.
Turn 4 will bite you.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I can give you some advice if you come to Full Throttle, but I'm not in a good place to be giving people advice yet. So
yeah.
But Flambro's a really fun track. We get to run the mini trucks there at Frosttoberfest every year, so that's a blast. That's my favorite track to race them at. I wish we could race there more often, but
that'd be cool.
It is a cool.
I'd love to see them at Flambro more often, because they don't even run the same day as I do for Frosttoberfest, so it sucks. Yeah. I don't get to see it.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, the Bone Stocks weren't there that day. I remember that now. Yeah, it was fun. We ended up winning too, so it's always a little better there.
Oh yeah,
it's always good when you end up in victory lane.
It was a fun race too. It was a really fun drive because we had a decent amount of trucks, 15 or 16 probably, but
that's a great car count.
Yeah, and so we were putting the winners at the back, like the guys who picked up feature wins, and then switch the second feature. And so we were starting towards the front of the winners, I guess you could say. And I think lap 1, someone lost it in front, and we got tangled up in a yellow, and then we went back to the back, and then it went green to checker from last to first. So that was a really fun drive. One of the most fun races I've been a part of. And of course, racing with my buddy Hayden Sim for the lead that I said earlier. He finished second. I love racing that guy and drinking beer and hanging out with him.
Now, I want to say those things, they really need the momentum. even going at Flamborough, do you just have to keep your foot in her just to at a track like Flamborough?
Yep, yeah, it's all momentum racing in these things. That was a big part of the setup, is just getting it to where there's nothing slowing you down, no drag at all. But yeah, Flamborough is another place that you got to get your foot to the floor. But with Flamborough, like I remember last year for the first 5 or 6 laps, I like my truck really loose, so I couldn't really. I had to feather it, and I was lifting a bit the first couple laps. But then once those tires warm up and the setup kicks in, then you just balls to the wall, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. No, because I'm thinking the same thing of like, the junior late models. They gotta keep their foot in her. They almost have to run the second groove. Like they almost have to run they have to run the high groove, but where the left tire runs.
Mm-hmm.
Like is that rough a good comparison there where even the mini trucks gotta run? Or do you guys get down there on the apron?
Oh, we don't touch the apron. I
didn't think so.
I touched the apron the year before last. I touched the apron with the lead, and I think I went from first to about 9th or 10th. So I'll try to stay away from the apron best I can.
That's where you just
But
got to hit the high side.
But no, the high side's good. Like I remember that's where I made a good amount of passes, is going high, going low is nice. We had a couple different grooves to pick out. It's such a fun track to race at, especially in the mini trucks. Full throttle and Grand Bend are awesome too. Full throttle is you're always anticipating that turn 4, and even if you're out there by yourself, it keeps it exciting, keeps you kind of lean forward in your seat on the edge. But no, Flambo's an awesome place to race. It's a lot of fun in these trucks.
Oh yeah, we keep talking about turn 4 at full throttle. It keeps you honest, which is great because you can't just let yourself end up being like too cocky, because I've seen I didn't even see it, I heard it when before Kyle Steckley was Kyle Steckley. He was just a little kid in a freaking J car, and he smoked that wall a ton. It sounded like a bomb went off. A little J car. Like,
have you guys seen the video of the mini truck crash there a year ago?
No.
Oh, really? I'll have to send it to you.
Please do.
It was a fireball, so I'll send it to you after this. But no,
Driver was
that
okay, right?
Yeah, that was a crazy wreck. That was like lap 1. That was championship night. Yeah, 2022. Yeah, not this year, last year. And yeah, McKenna Robson, she's racing the Legends now. She was in that, but she was all right. So the truck wasn't, but it was a scary wreck for sure.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's I don't like seeing fireballs, but they're kind of cool to see as long as the driver's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Mason, man, it's been a lot of fun chatting with you here. I want to give you the next 2-3 minutes to thank everyone, from a childhood dog you may have not even known all the way up to your grandparents, your great grandparents. The floor is yours for the next few minutes to thank all your sponsors, your family, your friends. Have at it.
All right, cool. First, I'll thank you guys for having me on here and giving me this platform. But number one, I got to thank my dad. Without him, I wouldn't be doing this. And he helps me a lot too. We spend a lot of time together because I work full time for him as a mechanic too. But we're pretty close and we enjoy doing the racing stuff together. I got to thank my mom for all her support. I got to thank my 2 little brothers, Dylan and Griffin, for their help and keeping me honest sometimes as well. Gotta thank my stepmom, Ann. She does all my stickers and puts them all on the car for me. I'm lucky I have her because me and my dad aren't too good at that stuff. So I don't think the truck would look near as good if it wasn't without Ann. I gotta thank, like I said, my cousin Trevor Culver, my mentor, my teacher, Justin for all his support, their mom, my Aunt Sue, the crew over there, Daryl, Alan, Tanner, Dave, my uncles, rest of my family, all of my supporters and friends. Gotta thank my partners, Don Collver Automotive, Grace Transport, Synergy Composites, AJ DeBruin, Snap-on Tools, Karis Welding, Platinum Construction, Marvin Freibergers and Sons, truck repair. Sorry, Ben, but and I think that's it.
Okay, so before we let you go, we're now going to start taking a poll, and I'm going to start tallying drivers. Megan, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Bumpers. To complete a look, do they need to be wrapped with what's on the side or what's on the roof?
Wrapped with.
Okay.
Can you repeat that again?
Okay, so I'm. Are you on a phone or on a computer right now?
Me, I'm on my brother's iPad actually.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot you a picture, and from a car that I saw on Saturday. Okay, now you can't see the bumper, but let me look at it this way. J.R. Fitzpatrick, the last couple years, he's had that nice yellow and black wrap down the side. Then the bumper is just black with a sponsor logo on it. There's no color around it. There's no nothing. The 71 car I just sent you a picture of, the wrap stops at that back corner. So the back bumper is blue. The design doesn't go around. Would you like a black bumper with just a sponsor and have your wrap stop at the dead sides, or should it be continued wrapped around?
I think the back bumper has to be continued. I think the front's good without it, but I think the back should be continued, depending on the style and the scheme of things. But yeah, I think it should go all the way to the back.
And I'm not picking on J.R. Fitzpatrick or the 71 driver at Merrittville. It got me going so bad on Saturday. Megan can attest to this.
Yeah.
And even my wife Jacqueline, she can attest to it as well, because I got heated. Because to me, if you stop the wrap on the sides, yes, side photos look great. But if they get that back angle shot where they get the side of the wrap plus your rear bumper, what they're seeing a wrap and then a dead end.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think especially with that scheme, I think the gray could wrap around the back a little bit, but
that's what I said.
You go through bumpers pretty quickly though too sometimes, so that's part of the problem as well.
It's a toss up, right? Do you want to continue doing some wrap work throughout the year to keep it looking pretty, or just leave it the way it is, right? It's to me, you got to complete the look. I'll take the vinyl each week.
I just know my car pissed you off.
You know what? I didn't even realize that your car didn't finish.
I was straight up me though. I went out. I didn't bother finish painting until now.
So I mean, I think it depends on the scheme, because like you said, like you didn't even notice that it wasn't finished all the way around, so it may stand out on some cars more than others. But I haven't got a wrapped race car yet, so we'll see what we do this year, what we show everyone. But I'm not too sure. I haven't wrapped a car.
I'm once I find another photo here, Mason, I'm gonna shoot it off to you. We'll have a conversation about it afterwards as well. Because it's gonna be a while before I find that, because it's in a folder. I don't know where it is on my phone, or on my Facebook, but I know it's there. Mason, man, thank you so much for joining us this week on the True North Racing Podcast. We're looking forward to seeing how well you do this year as a rookie in the Thunder Truck Division up there at Full Throttle Motor Speedway, and we hopefully. Who knows? Maybe we'll have you back on during our champions episode this year if you go out there and win a championship.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Right? So go enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Have a good one, bud. And we're back from our GraphInk Design Studio Guest segment of the week with Mason Collver. course, we got to thank Mason for joining us this week on the show. Of course, we got to thank GraphInk Design Studios for being the presenting sponsor of our guest segment, as well as, once again, to Tailor to You Media Design for being the presenting sponsor of our fan question period. It is one of our favorite. It's our longest running segment on the show, the fan question periods. It has literally the second episode. So 129 episodes. No, 129 episodes we will have had the fan question period for.
Mhm.
That's a long ass time.
That's a lot.
Well,
I've been here for all of them, but
this is episode 131. So I mean, it's crazy how far we've come in 4 years. And you know what? I do like our winter breaks. I like our off season. Then that way we can unwind. Maybe do an episode here and there, like a Christmas episode, just for fun.
Yeah.
And then pick it up just after the NASCAR season starts. You know, just we make it work. I think our schedule we have is pretty good.
I think so.
All right, so we're gonna continue our argument here. We didn't do this before the show. We're going to do it now, and we started it with Mason. Now I got to finish it. Megan brought up a good point. She doesn't like the fact that on Ray Morneau's car it was a bright green bumper because it threw it off from the rest of the scheme. I agree with that, but when you're pleasing a sponsor like that, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like, to me, a simple design works. I'm going to throw it up. I'm actually going to throw what David Elliott did in 2010. And if you look in front, you can also see, I think it was the 22, the 22 or 00, because that was the weekend.
The number.
Because the 22 was, I think it was, I'm going to screw this. I think it was Jamie Cox. And then the 00 was David Rudiman in front of them. Because this was at the 2010 Summer Showdown. But when you look at that, still look at that. The side of the car matches the back. Just,
you know what I feel like you would really not like? Well, I don't know. I don't know if I heard it from my dad about somebody who painted like every side of their car totally different. That way it's like when you're behind it looks like a totally different car. From like this side of the track, it's like fucking red. And then from the other side of the track, it's like purple or something. I did. But it's like it makes it look like a totally different car from like the back and each side.
Okay. So one, you're gonna have to see if you can find a photo or find out if anyone who's listening knows the car that Megan is talking about, send it to me, please. At Joe Media on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Doesn't matter where, just freaking send it to me. But this is where I'm gonna go a step further, because now I'm gonna contradict myself, but also make a point as well. Okay? Because I just realized this. When you look at this car, it is a Jimmy Johnson. It was a throwback to when they celebrated Dale Earnhardt Sr. And Richard Petty, as well with him with his car number.
Right.
Look at the back bumper though. This was actually a conversation Feeney and I had. This is what Feeney and I were going on about on last week's show. Is that he's saying that the hood, the roof, and the trunk should match the bumper. Whereas I'm saying the side of the car should match the back of the car. So you see it there. I just realized I got a little die cast here. This is gonna be I'm proving a point. Okay. See, like this one. Nope, that's a bad example. Because it's actually a black bumper on this one. But it's such a black and green look. But the way it stops on the side here, it stops at the tail lights. So I'm okay with that. Now I don't know if this one was actually run or not. Let's bring out another one. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Tabasco car. Okay. See the little flames on the side? What's on the back? We got flames.
Okay.
I know Megan's getting upset with me. She's like, John, you made your point. Shut up. Oh, family channel car. Okay. With Ted Musgraves. We got a white bumper. Oh, it's so hard to see. But there's a little bit of red in there, but it matches the side of the car still.
Yeah.
But it's a white tail end of the car. So I'm okay with that. Now let's see Feeney's car. See, I don't agree with that. Because
Come on, Beanie.
because even the blue doesn't come around. The blue, he has blue on the on the trunk lid. It should be wrapping around here, bud. You got a red line down the side. It should be wrapping around underneath the taillights.
Is this where the debate started?
No.
Okay.
My debate started literally Saturday when I saw the 71 car. That was it. If you guys are
I see what you're saying though about the whole like the Petty and the Earnhardt one. I think I'm siding with you that the back has to be Earnhardt's because I feel like it levels it out because you got the hood for Petty's.
Yep.
And it's like I understand what Phoebe's saying about like finishing going down, but like I don't know, it's kind of like whoop to me, like Earnhardt Petty. Whoop, like I don't know. It just makes sense to me. Like I feel like it I'm siding with you on that one.
I feel like the front of the car, like the whole hood is Petty on this one, and the lower front of the bumper is Earnhardt. Okay.
Oh, but then.
But if they continue the blue, I don't know why I felt like you could see that. If they continue the blue down on the front end of the bumper, and then to me, the front bumper, the side, and the back should all not necessarily match, but should relatively be the same design, especially if you're pinstriping or having a thin layer, just like they did with Earnhardt. I feel like if you're going to continue a side little pattern down here, you need to continue it around the back.
Yeah.
For continuation. If you're black all the way on the roof and on the tail light on the bumper or on the trunk lid, you can't leave it. I feel like you gotta move it around. I don't. Again, anyone who wants to fight me on this, please. This is a debate I'm willing to have with anyone. If you want to come on the show, we'll debate this. I'll do this on a different day and we'll sit down, argue for 30 minutes. I don't care if we do it live as well. I will go to my storage unit and pull out all my die casts to prove this point. I don't care how many times we got to repair a bumper.
Yeah.
Complete the look.
I mean, I paint my cars.
Yes.
So that's why I keep it simple. So it's like mine now that I finished it, it wraps around continuously the way I have the striping on the bottom, but it's like the entire, okay, not the entire because I'd have to replace the whole thing. But it's pretty easy to like paint it if I do need to put a new bumper on it.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, I don't want to have to do that, but it's racing. I don't know.
You never know what's gonna happen.
No.
Hopefully, like the way I see it is, hopefully you don't need a rear bumper. But if you do, just have something simple so it's easy to fix. Whether it's paint, whether it's vinyl.
Exactly.
No one in the crowd is gonna notice a little black strip, little 2x3 black strip of vinyl because you covered up a puncture hole. But if they're 2 feet away and they're checking out your car, and they're gonna notice.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
To me, the appearance is everything. But again, fight me on it. Fight me. I will. This is a hill I'm willing to die on. We're gonna wrap up the show here for tonight, guys. As always, Megan, thank you so much for being here. Did you notice my little sticker here now?
Yeah.
I got a new boom, guys. Anyone who didn't catch last week's episode, if you guys are like, huh, that looks a little weird. yeah, I got a new mic boom because I told Jacqueline, I'm like, I want to get a new mic boom because I didn't like the other one. And she's like, after the wedding, okay. And I'm like, okay, Tuesday, I bought it. She goes, I'm like, I did say after the wedding. She's like, it is after the wedding. I'm like, you're absolutely correct. So she actually made up these little stickers for me, and I got a True North Racing podcast one I'm going to add beside it now. So
Nice.
yeah. So whenever we're on air, we're going to have a little Jomo Media and True North Racing podcast logo sitting there. Exactly. Megan, where can they find you guys on social media this year?
We are, TikTok is MRC Racing 73. Instagram is mrc.racing.73, and Facebook is just MRC Racing.
Awesome. Well, of course, you guys can catch everything to go on with Joe Media Promotions by following us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, as well as joemedia.ca. There, you guys are going to be able to find our Driving with Hailey vehicle spotlight. You guys are going to be able to check out our schedules, as well as all our drivers. At the top there's a list, or not a list, you got to click it, but then it goes to a list and it has all the Joe Media drivers for the 2024 season so far. We're looking forward to working with every single one of them. It is going to be a blast. We got, I think, like 54, 55. Corey Horn is the winner of a gold package for 2025. So once again, congratulations goes out to Corey. That's our first driver sign for 2025. So hell yeah, look at that. We're getting early with this. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for all listening to the True North Racing Podcast presented by Driving with Hailey. For Megan Mitchell, I'm John Morrison. We'll see you guys next time. Bye now.
Yeah.
Engine rooming by, smell the gas and feel the vibe, going into overdrive. Drop the flag, then the car zooming by. Hey, True North Racing, let's go.